is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, OsakaJack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Into the Spotlight. This is your host, OsakaJack. And with me today is somebody that you may recognize from DeviantArt or Twitter or quite a few locations, Mr. Sterling. Hello, how are you?
G'day. I'm doing pretty fantastically tonight.
Excellent. Now, I did want to ask your, I'm sorry, is it Sterling or Sterling Pony or how, what do you prefer?
I mean, I generally go by Sterling. Sterling Pony kind of came about because the name Sterling on various websites was already taken, as you can probably imagine.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I will generally go by Sterling when I can.
Okay. What was the inspiration for that?
I actually went through quite a while trying to think of an OC design and name, and I think in the end I just decided to settle on a design for my character that what I wanted to both be representative of me, but also would sit in just as a background character. I really wanted to stray away from kind of overly garish colors, and so I went with the kind of the brown hair and the grey coat, and the grey coat started leaning into I was trying to think of names for this pony that kind of would suit the visual style of the character, and I mean one of the things that I thought of from there was sterling, kind of being from like the pound sterling, like the coin.
My first thought, as honestly, well as and I guess it's because I don't have pound sterling, but just sterling silver was my first thought.
Right. Well, yeah, and then there's also double meaning where like the word sterling itself kind of just meaning generally like fantastic and high quality, which I mean, come on, that's me all over, right? And so I mean, I was kind of leaning towards that, and then I was I think I was watching an episode of Archer, which is one of my other favorite cartoons. And I mean, his name is Sterling Archer, and I was thinking, this guy's fantastic. That's it. Sterling's my name.
It works. That's
it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if we're going for gray, or I mean, if we're doing silver, you could have named it Ag. I'm not going to explain that joke. You know what? If anybody listening doesn't get the joke,
if someone doesn't pick up on that, then whatever, they don't deserve it.
Send me a message and I'll chide you and then never explain it still. But we'll know who you are for not getting the joke. Ag.
It's okay. Soon they'll get into high school and they'll find out.
Yeah. Well, let's see. You've done actually quite a bit of work in the Brony universe. Do you want to, for anybody who doesn't know, for the 2 or 3, can you tell them what you do?
Sure. I guess it was only really towards the beginning of 2012 that I actually started actively doing stuff in the pony fandom. I mean, I'd been watching the show since about the middle of 2011 or so. After finally being convinced by someone else at university that the show actually wasn't horrible and is worth checking out. And I'm sure we all have a similar experience with our initial approach to the show. But yeah, it was towards the beginning of this year. I'd been listening to like Everfree Radio and stuff, and thinking, I could probably do some stuff for these guys, or listening to an interview with Robob from like the Epic Cupcake Time series, and thinking, you know what, I can animate, I could help out there, and then I'd kind of be thinking in the back of my mind, no, he's probably getting people offering to help all the time, or like Everfree Radio's probably got people like clamoring to be on their staff teams. I'll just sit back and consume, and And I think it was actually the first thing I really started doing was I was trying to start a campaign to to try and get people to sign off on to convince Hasbro or the Hub Network to allow My Little Pony to be legally obtained outside of the States. Being in Australia, that was the thing where like, I love this show, I want to actively support this show directly, but yeah, I can't really I can't watch the shows through iTunes or really on TV or anything.
Yes.
So there's not a whole lot of options.
To be totally honest, still not legally able to watch ponies in Japan.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah, but, I can order the DVD set, and I have, and it's going to be delivered, but I'm not legally able to watch it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've ordered one DVD, and that was the one that contains the unedited Last Roundup episode, so that's remained sealed.
No, I
But
ordered the entire season 1, and that's going to be delivered to me, I think, beginning of New Year. I pre-ordered that one, but I still don't have legal rights to watch it.
I think I'm still waiting for like a complete box set to start
Oh,
appearing.
okay.
And I guess the first thing I really I think it was both the first thing I really did, and it was also the first thing that really took off was a comic I drew, mashing up a little skit with the Cutie Mark Crusaders and
Mhm.
a Legend of Zelda joke.
Ah,
And
yes, I think I remember that one.
yeah, I mean that was actually kind of overwhelming how much that exploded. And
Yeah.
like I think I posted it on DeviantArt, and so I woke up the next morning and looked online. It'd been on Equestria Daily. It had skyrocketed onto I think my little brony page and all over some forums. I'm like, whoa, what just happened? And I mean, yeah, I was kind of overwhelmed, but it was that overwhelming response which I think kind of encouraged me to want to keep contributing to back
Sure.
into this community with,
Yeah.
be it artwork or animation or even just being able to discuss projects with people and offer advice or
Right.
consultation in that respect.
Yeah. If anybody doesn't know the comic that we're speaking of, it's pretty easy to find. I think it's on your front page on the DeviantArt.
It is actually. It still continues to be one of the ones that seems to be most often favorited and looked at. So I just leave it up there
Oh
because
yeah,
people seem to like it.
that one's a great comic, but honestly, that's not your favorite comic of mine. You did one a little bit ago called Tuberculosis Trouble.
Yes, that was the short scare I had where there was a misunderstanding at the doctor's office and thought I had tuberculosis.
What actually happened there? Did they tell you tuberculosis and you misheard
No, no,
them,
no.
or somebody named
Because I was
tuberculosis was walking by and
no, because I was just so under the weather at that point that I'd gone back to stay with my parents for a while,
okay,
and so my mother was kind enough to take me to the doctor's office, and as she's a lovely lady, she's taking care of me,
right.
and after kind of being checked up by this doctor, I was still kind of out of it, a bit dazed, and they
Oh,
were talking, and at some point I'm sure of it, like the word tuberculosis was mentioned,
okay.
and just subconsciously or something when that happened, my mind think, oh, okay, I have tuberculosis.
Oh dear.
Crap.
Okay. And for anybody who doesn't know, this was I think you tweeted about it, or yeah, probably tweet, because that's where I have the strongest presence. And I gave you some like cheap homemade medical advice, which is solid advice. I stand by it.
Yeah. And I think the inspirational one for that was just basically recommending to keep warm.
Yes.
Because I think word for word, the heat is uncomfortable for you, but deadly to viruses and infections.
Yes, that's right.
So I yeah, the comic I decided to have a bit of fun with it, and I don't know, set my OC on fire.
Well, not just you set it on fire. Your OC held up a match and then sprayed some what, just
I think I just used hairspray or
hairspray.
something
Yeah,
generic like that.
sprayed hairspray at himself, roasting himself in an attempt to get rid of his cough.
And honestly, like, I mean, I'm sure everyone's had this at some point in their lives, but you get that sick and you just like, yep, that would probably be worth it.
Yeah, fire, fine, whatever. Just yeah, let me get over it.
Just, that's it. I think I've actually got I've got like a follow up like little sketch or something just floating on my hard drive that I've never gotten around to actually finishing with just rarity, just looking for a hairspray and just finding this roasted corpse on the ground. I think I decided that that's probably one that best left unpublished or unfinished and unpublished.
Yeah. We'll yeah. We'll assume it was well, the camera angle. He could have just been blowing the fire next to him, and we're just in between them.
It's
And so
true, it's in a 2D world, so you can have a lot of fun with
yeah,
that.
right. Well, I know that you've done graphic design for EFR. Is that right? I mean, the EFR sites.
Yeah, that's actually kind of how I approached EFR in the beginning and kind of got on board there is
Hmm.
basically saying, okay, guys, your website, it's horrible. Let me help you with that. And so from there, I kind of I got on board and ended up and got into the whole world of juggling university and like freelance jobs and like
Hmm.
hobby jobs like Everfree Radio and but anyway, I worked on a new website design for that whereas they were previously using an old default WordPress page.
Okay. Yeah.
And but no, yeah, it was good. I worked on a new design for it, which in essence, until there was a big whole rebranding process happen at some point down the track, it was basically intended to be a cleaned up version of what was originally there.
Okay.
Something that actually looked nice. And so yeah, I worked closely with Nash from Everfree Radio, and One Trick as well was doing some programming on that.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, that's how I got in touch with Everfree Radio, was actually working on their website and branding. The neon logo that's come to be the main identifying feature for Everfree Radio was actually it came about almost as like a joke logo during the 80s week.
Okay.
And at some point, I think it just stuck because everyone seemed to like it.
Yeah. I do like the logo. I have to say, though, after listening to Tabitha's interview, Tabitha St. Germain, I don't know if you heard that one, but she mentioned it, and once I mention it, you can't unsee it, and I apologize, but it looks like 2 praying mantises.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah. And I can see that. It's like, oh yeah, it does. It still looks cool, but yeah, praying mantis, absolutely. Uh-huh.
Nope, totally. But yeah, all the same, like the neon logo, had a bit of fun with that, and I actually recently did a couple of print ads for the I think it was the Everfree Northwest con booklets.
Oh yes, I think I saw those on DeviantArt
where I
as
was,
well.
Yeah, I kind of still working with the Everfree Radio brand and incorporating more of the Poison Joke flower beds into the whole branding and look for Everfree Radio.
Right. I have to admit,
just kind of giving it more of a glowing ethereal feel.
I have to admit, one of the first times I came to Everfree Radio and I was looking around, I saw the Poison Joke at the bottom, and I thought, is this whole thing a prank? Is somebody putting me on that they don't actually have this much information and stuff? Am I being trolled? Because that would be beautiful, having Poison Joke at the bottom and just every link is ha ha. But no, I was pleasantly surprised that it did have that much. Have you had chance to meet any of the people face to face? Any of the people you've worked with?
Dude, I'm in Australia.
Okay.
No, unfortunately, I have not really had the pleasure of meeting anyone face to face. It's all been across the interwebs so far.
Right.
I have dreams of making it to a convention one of these days, but being that it takes a couple of $1,000s just to get out of and back into the country, it's a bit of a pipe dream at this point.
Hey, if anybody can empathize with you, it is me. I mean, I think geographically you're a bit further away than I am. You're the hypotenuse of the right triangle, but even so, it's a distance. It's absolutely a distance. I am going to be going to Everfree Northwest 2013, and I had some people say, why not BronyCon? And my main reason is Seattle versus New York area.
Yeah. No, I really would love to just check out Seattle and just hang out with some of these friends that I've made through Pony.
Absolutely, yeah. But time is an issue, and jet lag is an issue, and money's an issue. Unfortunately,
it's the biggest issue of them all.
Yeah.
I mean, I am really gunning to be able to make it to Everfree Northwest 2013. Oh. But we'll just have to see if I can get the funds together for that.
Mm-hmm. Someone suggested I do a Kickstarter, but it's like, no, that's.
I mean, I've joked around and toyed with that idea, but it does seem a little bit obnoxious to start a Kickstarter just to get yourself overseas somewhere.
Exactly, yeah. And honestly, what rewards could we offer? I'll call you my friend for $10, and
I'll follow you on Twitter.
Well, Hey Ocean did that, and they got a pretty good response from it, actually.
Well, yeah, but come on, they're Hey Ocean.
But, yeah, okay, good point. Yes. Well, I'd like to change just real quick a different project that you're working on that I've seen a little bit of, and I saw live for a short time when I had the chance. Sorry, didn't have much of an opportunity. But a game that you're working on. Is there any? I'm sorry, I don't know how much you can speak of this, or if it's.
Oh no, it's not overly secret. It's being that I'm doing a Bachelor of Game Design course at university. Part of that is creating video games.
Okay.
And a friend and I from class, we've had this idea for a game building for the better part of a year. it's quite a silly concept, but it's based around the Norse god Odin,
Okay.
who's trying to stop Fenrir, who is kind of Odin's big bad enemy in Norse mythology.
Yep.
He's trying to stop Fenrir from taking over the world by being voted in as president of the world, for various nefarious plans, such as wanting an easy way to put humans into a meat factory for him to eat.
Okay.
But we're just kind of having a bit of fun with it, and I mean,
well,
the overall plot of the idea remains a little bit undeveloped, but it's just something where it's a very organic process for us. We're just having fun with it as we go.
Well, is the game? I mean, what you just described to me, I can imagine either a lighthearted comedy with eat people like a sandwich, or I can actually imagine a very dark and brooding type game. Have you decided which avenue you're going on yet, or just whichever one appeals to you?
I think, given the main mechanic of the game, I would definitely have to say it's very comedic. See,
Okay.
when I'm not understating when I say it's a very silly game.
Okay.
The idea for this game, which came about when my friend and I were walking down the street to get lunch one day, and both at once we were just hit with this horrendous stench, and we're just so confused. We just looked at each other, and at the same time just ran. We're just trying to outrun this area of smell. And we just ran, but as far as we could, we just stopped and looked at each other. We couldn't figure out what it was. Like, we don't know, maybe there was like construction work and there was like a sewer line being opened or something. We couldn't figure it out.
Right.
But regardless, we're joking around it afterwards, and eventually decided that the only thing that could have caused that kind of stench was if Odin himself had farted upon us. And so the idea was born that someone can play as Odin, going around and farting.
Lovely.
Just a big a big old past his prime flatulent Norse god. and so that's it. He kind of he jumps around and uses his gas as both as a means of transportation and as a projectile weapon.
Okay.
And but yeah, that like I said, we're just having a lot of fun with it, and we figure if there's any time when we can just do something silly and just have complete free reign with it, it's while we're at uni and that we're not having to comply to a client's wishes.
That's a good point. You have the opportunity now, go for it.
That's it.
Yeah. There may come a time where you're designing a game and they say, okay, instead of Odin, we want it to be Medusa. And instead of flatulence, we want her to shoot lightning bolts.
That's it.
You hurt my mythology. But okay, you're paying me. All right.
Well,
here
actually,
we go.
to be fair, Medusa shooting lightning bolts could be really cool. But
yeah, it could. Now that I'm thinking about this,
that's the thing. It's kind of
dibs. I get copyright.
Damn it. Okay, I'll do a siren shooting lightning bolts instead.
Oh. No, you bring me on as a consultant, and then I get to play the game, and then we're all happy. Okay.
Excellent. But no, so I mean, we've kind of had this idea brewing for the better part of a year, and we finally got to the end of this year where one of our assignments has been to, hey, go create a level from a video game.
Excellent.
And so we thought, hey, here's our opportunity to have a bit of fun and get this done.
Yeah.
And so we've been working on that, and on various parts of the assignment that aren't marked. For example, my friend is programming and I'm doing artwork.
Okay.
So things that aren't marked, such as music and audio and stuff, that's pretty much free reign to have contributors.
Okay.
So that's when I've reached out and asked various people who have been involved with on other projects if they would like to lend a hand. I'm in discussion with Mando Pony at the moment, who is interested in doing some tunes for the game.
He's quite good with chiptunes. I'm sure I can't say for sure, but it's my belief that he'll do an awesome job for that.
Oh, well, that's the thing about Mando Pony is he's just got such an amazing range over different areas and different genres of music that I'm pretty confident to be able to say, okay, here's the game, go make some music, and he'd absolutely nail it.
Yeah. He's probably listening and has already finished it, and we'll be sending it to us in our inbox in 3, 2... No, not mine. Okay.
Oh, no, there it is.
Not quite yet. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. Wow. Woo.
It sounds amazing, but I can't release it yet. But no, I mean, obviously the project is actually still in progress. So
Right.
how much actually happens remains to be seen.
Yes, of course.
But in other news, I mean, I've managed to talk Lee Toka into he's going to be voicing Odin himself,
Oh, that's nice.
which is a bit of fun.
I
And
have to
it's
admit, I heard you mention that before, that Lee would be voicing Odin, and Lee's incredibly talented, but part of me was like, really, Odin? And then I
yeah.
saw what you were drawing for Odin. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. For some reason, I had this idea that you were making an ultra dark, serious, uh, one-eyed god calling for the end of the world type thing. I'm like, I guess Lee could do that, but then I see this
No,
cute little chibi character who's got a beard as big as his face. Like, oh yeah, that's it. It's got it.
I think you could say that Lee's voice for Odin Ragnar rocks.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But no, I was talking to him and running this idea
Again, we're
by
not
him.
going to explain the pun. If you didn't get it, go get a mythology book. And anyway,
Well, that's it. I mean, just pull up Wikipedia for goodness sake.
yeah.
But no, he just started rattling off all these voices for Odin that just off the top of his head,
Uh-huh.
and I was cracking up. I had tears in my eyes, and so I'm really excited to be able to put some of those into the game.
Yeah. Have you decided on a title yet?
Well, originally, we were going to go with I mean, and the working title still is Odin's Vengeance.
Okay.
Because stemming from our original experience with whatever that horrendous stench was,
Right.
our original idea was a simple game where you play as Odin taking revenge or vengeance on humanity for no longer believing in him.
Okay. Okay.
And so he's just going around and farting on people.
Right.
And since then, the game has evolved and we've started developing a bit of an overall plot and story.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So whether we still call it Odin's Vengeance or find something more appropriate remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of where it's at the moment. It's still
Okay.
very much in progress and
Right.
being worked through.
Right. Right. Yeah, I saw you working on it on the live stream, and I think it looks good, but it was definitely not what I had pictured when I thought of Odin.
Yeah, well, on one hand, like I think it would be cool to do something with a lot more traditional Norse mythology, like for example with Odin being kind of the cloaked the kind of the cloaked man,
Okay.
kind of
Right.
Gandalfish, which
Right.
is interesting because Gandalf was actually based off the traditional Odin.
Right.
But I mean, for the purpose of this, I mean, especially given the recent Thor movie,
Yes.
it's kind of now people think Odin and they think of this kind of this armor-clad warrior Norse god.
Right.
And I mean that's an image that I can still have fun with and
Yeah.
works for our purposes.
Sure.
So that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah. Go with it, man. And the more I think about it, Ragnarok would be a good name for the title. This
Well,
Ragnaroks.
honestly, I'm a massive fan of just putting horrendous puns in wherever possible.
I think a lot of the fandom is, and that's one good reason
Which
why I
is
feel
glorious.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I feel so at home here. Is there an expected finish date for the level? Or I should ask this: is it going to be something that's publicly released? Is it something that we'll be able to just see, or can we play it?
Well, this game is something we really kind of desperately want to see through to being like a fully released game.
Okay.
For the purpose of this assignment, it's due in like a fortnight from now.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Hopefully, we'll be able to release like a level kind of as a demo at the end of that.
Oh, very
But
quickly, for those who have no
definitely...
idea, a fortnight refers to 14 nights or 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, going back.
There we go.
Honestly, before I came here, I had no idea what fortnight meant other than it was longer than a day or two.
Oh, really? Oh,
really?
Okay.
Yeah. I had no clue it was this. I thought it was similar to a few. That there's no specific measure of how long it is. I didn't know it was exactly 2 weeks.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, I guess that's something I've grown up with in context. Well, out of context, it does seem a bit odd just out of the blue, but yeah. Fair enough.
In my hometown, actually, it's very common. The word couple, as in a couple of blah blah blah, is actually a synonym for few. So my area can be very confusing if we go somewhere else and say, I need a couple of these, and we only get 2. It's like, I said a couple.
Right.
Where,
See,
where am
I've
I?
always, in my mind, I've always had a couple equals 2, a
Most
few
places, yeah.
equals 3.
Okay. I would say few equals less than 5, maybe 3 or 4, possibly 5.
Mhm.
But yeah. But for
It's
anybody,
interesting how much of this is like these words are all kind of contextual based on where people have grown up and in
yeah,
different situations.
absolutely. Yeah. If you ever want to see a huge fight amongst Americans, ask them what type of drink Coca-Cola is.
I'll keep that in mind.
Hmm.
Might go and
You
cause
get
some trouble in the Everfree Radio chat
yeah,
later on.
you get soda, you get pop, you get soda pop, you get some people who refer to it as Coca-Cola. So you'll have orange Coke and Coke and grape Coke.
See, for me, there's no trouble there. Coke, it's a soft drink.
Okay, yeah, and I can understand that. I flow with that soft drink. Yeah, that makes no sense. That makes sense to me. But I can also imagine soft drink is not necessarily carbonated.
Hmm. So I guess I think of soft drink as okay, so you've got soft drink, which is I guess kind of
Yeah.
fizzy drinks,
Okay.
fizzy beverages such as Coke or lemonade.
Right.
And then as opposed to soft drinks, you have a hard drink, which might be like liquor.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I
so,
can
and so in my
understand
mind,
the
if you,
logic
you
there.
go you go out to a bar with some friends, you're like, oh no, it's my turn to drive tonight. I guess I'll be having the soft drinks instead of the hard drinks.
I can see that. Sure. Yeah, and I can understand your idea perfectly. But to me, soft drink could include something that's not carbonated. I have learned the word cordial means different things in America and other areas. Your cordial would be our Kool-Aid or drink mix.
Ah, is that what Kool-Aid is?
That is what well, not exactly,
Huh.
but it's close. It's close. For us, cordial is actually an alcoholic beverage, or in my area at
Oh,
least, it's an alcoholic beverage, a small one, possibly an aperitif or before dinner.
interesting.
Yeah. So when I came here and I had Australian people, man, it's hot today. I could use a cordial. I'm like, it's 11 in the morning. What is wrong with you? But then it was straightened out. So I'm sorry, way back, of course, but it will be a game that can be
That's right.
played.
The only way to settle an argument like that at 11 in the morning is over a beer or cider.
Yes, but you are hoping to release the entire game, the game in its entirety, at one point.
Absolutely. I don't imagine that will be anytime soon, but hopefully sometime next year,
Sure.
in 2013. But again, that's kind of a hobby project, so it does have to take a back seat to priorities such as client jobs or
Obvious.
actual assignment work.
Yep. You have to make the money before you can have fun. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, our aim for this level is that we will be able to release it as a demo.
Okay. Yeah. So look forward to Odin's Revenge, or it's gonna Ragnarok, or
Something along those lines.
a very old joke from the Dilbert comic strip that I just love before it became obsessed with business is where
There
uh,
was a time before Dilbert was just business.
oh yeah, if you get the first 2 or 3 books, he occasionally goes to the office, but he doesn't live
Huh.
there. But no, he was Dilbert was speaking to Dogbert, and they were suddenly visited by the Norse god of thunder. And he comes in and he says, "I'm Thor," and Dogbert says, "Take some aspirin."
Brilliant.
I don't know anybody that recognizes it when I quote that, but everybody does think it's funny. Thor, have some aspirin.
Now, lists are always fun to play with.
Yeah. Well, something that I do ask quite often, and I'm interested to your answer. In My Little Pony, is there one line or one scene that specifically defines your bronydom?
Oh, bloody hell.
Something that just speaks to you on a very personal level. Just every time somebody asks you about it, it's the first thing that pops into your head. Is there a line or a scene that does that for you?
Whew, that's a really hard ask at this point. Also, seeing as
I'm sorry.
I'm also a little bit rusty. I have kind of in the lead up to season 3. I've actually haven't watched a whole lot of episodes recently.
Right, right.
So off the top of my head, I'm not actually sure. This is a tricky one.
Mm, I'm kind of proud of this. I'm proud of this question, to be very honest.
Does it stump a lot of people?
Um, they usually get the same reaction you did that said, "Oh, hmm." They can
Yeah,
usually
I mean,
think of
come on,
something,
it's a
but
hard ask. I mean, there's so many great parts. I mean,
Oh yeah.
a classic for me, which I mean, unfortunately there was a bit of a debacle with it, but was
Right.
the original scene with Derpy and Rainbow Dash.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Right.
and I think part of that was just the unexpected nature of it when it first aired, and the experience of watching it on the live stream and watching the chat suddenly explode into, "Oh my goodness, there's Derpy hooves!" And then like you think, wow, I'm pretty sure I just felt the internet shake from just cumulative bronies like being excited. And then, oh my goodness, Derby just spoke. And it just kept escalating. And and so that kind of that scene and exchange between Rainbow and Derpy
Right.
before its edited form was
Hmm.
just not just for the dialogue itself, but for the experience that I have attached to it
Sure, sure.
is probably one of my favorite parts.
That's before we started recording, you mentioned to me your pride and joy of your My Little Pony collection. I would love to hear you speak of this.
Well, I guess I don't have a massively expansive collection.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of kind of the classic toy molds. They
Right.
because
Okay.
to me they just they seem a bit oddly shaped. I'm a big fan of the designs in the show, and those designs being 2D characters can be really hard to translate into a 3D mold for
Absolutely.
a
Yes. Yes.
from figurine.
Yes.
But there's a few that I've got. There's a an American Greetings Pinkie Pie, Christmas edition Pinkie Pie,
Oh.
which I think I saw a photo of that. I thought that looks awesome,
Uh-huh.
and I immediately kind of jumped on eBay trying to find one, and eventually I gave in, and I did buy one from. Actually, no, I think with that one I couldn't find any buyers which could ship to Australia, which is
Oh, right. Right.
unfortunately a common occurrence.
I understand. Yes, I absolutely
But
get that.
thankfully, I mean, I had some friends overseas, so
Ha.
I think I ordered two and had them had them sent to a friend over in Texas.
Okay.
And I said, okay, here's the deal. You can have one, ship the other one to me.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
I thought so.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I mean, she's sitting proudly on my shelf amongst a Duke Nukem figurine and a couple of
Nice.
Sackboys. Um,
I
and
can
I've
I can just suddenly imagine Duke starts going, I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And Pinky goes, I've got some. Here you go. Here's some bubblegum.
Well, actually, the way
Oh,
I've got this
okay.
laid out is it's actually a like a miniature bust of Duke, so it's kind
Okay.
of cut off at the shoulders,
Ah,
and at the bottom it's got the engraving Carpe Nukem.
okay.
But I've actually got a blind bag Pinkie Pie sitting on his head, and he's constantly scowling, which amuses me no end.
Leave me alone. It Cranky Doodle Donkey replaced by Duke Nukem.
Okay, see, I would love to see that episode
Yes,
redubbed with using Duke Nukem for Cranky Doodle.
that would be amazing. Anybody
Well,
wants
it
to
looks
get
like
on
I'm not
that,
going to
you
be
will
seeing
get
it tonight.
high praise from both of us just seeing Duke Nukem instead of Cranky Doodle Donkey.
I probably wouldn't be it wouldn't end up being safe for work, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Because
probably true.
I mean, you know, classic Duke.
Yeah.
I suppose the other the thing sitting here on my desk is a sealed Comic Con Derpy Hoops,
Ooh.
which unfortunately for her she's going to remain sealed for the foreseeable future because I could only get my hands on one
Right.
um due to excessive scalping pricing on eBay.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of it only happened once, and in my mind, that was Derpy is an iconic part of the fandom to me. She
Sure.
represents a lot of how My Little Pony has grown
Yeah.
from just being a very well made little girl show and how it's expanded into having a wider audience and
Right.
having the show's creators actively acknowledge that larger audience.
Yeah.
And that's really special to me is kind of showing how, especially like the internet and technology has paved the way for creators and fans to be so deeply connected with each other.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And to me that's what Dopey represents is the
Yeah.
link between creators and consumers, and that's really special to me.
Yeah, and that's definitely worth talking about. And yeah, and I have heard some people. on Twitter or in other places say, "Free Derpy, let her out of the box. If you want a collectible, then don't buy it. Just take a picture." It's like, they bought it. Let them do with it as they wish. Keeps her safe and dust free. And
Well,
that's
yeah, I've never really been much for the whole brushy thing myself,
right.
so
Yeah.
I don't that's not a big a big thing for me. So I'm happy for her to be able to sit in her box and
Yeah.
and
I have one single
guard
brushie.
all the other ponies.
I have one brushable, and that's Fluttershy, and she's in my backpack. The little strap that's right under shoulder that's supposed to hold cell phone, she rides
Haha,
right there.
very
So
nice.
it's kind of I think it's a good accessory, but it's also a slight, I guess, passive aggressive. Anybody else out there recognize her? Because I
See, I
feel
guess I'm a little less subtle.
okay.
I have a satchel just branded with Derpy hooves on it,
Oh,
which
nice,
I'll
nice.
cart around the city.
Well, I do have to go to work, in business clothes, so there's a limit to how much I can do.
Of
My
course,
boss
yeah,
is
that's the
very cool,
advantage to
but
being a
hey,
there's the advantage to being a university student.
that is something I haven't seen much. My Little Pony business attire.
Well, see,
I
there's
haven't
so much
yet.
potential for that. I actually had a plan. I had this planned out for
Oh,
I don't know, probably a year now, where you could totally have a suit done up where you just have like the classic like black blazer, white shirt, black
right.
pants.
Yeah.
You'd have cufflinks done up in the cutie mark of a certain pony,
Oh,
and then you have a different color tie accenting the outfit, which uses their body and or mane color.
ah, very
And in
nice.
my mind, that would just be so perfect and subtle.
Sure, yeah.
But suits cost money, and I'm a student. This is
Yes,
unfair.
yes, they absolutely do. Yeah. But I could even see, I mean, especially in summertime, I have to wear business attire, but it's called Cool Biz. And the idea is we
Cool
don't
biz.
it's a nationwide thing here. They're trying to reduce the amount that people use air conditioners, so they're setting them to 28 degrees. And for anybody who
Hmm.
doesn't know, humidity in 28 degrees is not fun. That's
No.
28 degrees Celsius is, I think, 86, 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's about 70 to 85% humidity. It's hot. So as a thing, it's kind of a nationwide movement saying wear short sleeve business shirts, don't wear a suit jacket.
Hmm.
And it still looks okay, but as long as everybody's doing it, they can't really complain that it's not business attire. So,
That's true.
and I could totally see a short sleeve business shirt that's done in, say, a pale blue with a lightning rainbow tie, and
Haha, yes.
or I yeah, well, I don't know. I guess you could do yellow shirt. I'm not sure would look too good, but maybe a pale pink shirt with a yellowish tie and a few
Pale pink
butterflies
could
on it.
work.
Yeah, I'm not good at fashion, so
Or
what do I know? But
perhaps pale pink with a blue tie.
there you go. Yeah, yeah. Put some balloons on it.
That could
Uh,
work. Or just carry balloons around for the day.
Even better. Yes. You okay? Yep. Just got my balloons. You want one? Here you go. That would be excellent. Well, do you have any other projects that you're working on that you'd like to plug?
Oh, so many. I mean, I
Ah,
can't really
that
talk
you
about it.
can
So
plug. That you
I can't
can
talk about
plug.
it a lot. But seeing as he himself has announced it, I along with a friend of mine, we're working on Lee Tokar's Fanbuilt project,
That'll be
um,
huge.
which is it's a very exciting undertaking. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can say other than what Lee himself has made public
Yes.
at various conventions, and I'm sure if you can find some of the videos and interviews with him from a place like Everfree Northwest, you'll be able to
Canterlot
glean some more
Gardens as
information on
well.
the
That would be
project from
great.
there.
He spoke about it in detail at Canterlot Gardens too, and that looks awesome.
Mm. Well, it is a very very exciting project that my friend who goes by Forb um,
Okay, yeah.
and I where we've basically been working on all the kind of the branding for that project,
Oh, nice,
the
nice.
the design for kind of the website, the and merchandise, pretty much every visual aspect of the project we've been working on and designing, which is
Right.
it's a massive undertaking. It's also very exciting, and it's really it's really exciting to be working on it.
It looks like
Lee is a fantastic person to work with. He's amazingly, he's so excited and about like everything. It's so great because we'll be able to have a meeting and constantly discussing new ideas, and he's a very, very fun person to work with.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy in that respect.
Yeah, so everybody, if you don't know Fanbuilt, go check it out. I know they have, you can see what Lee has spoken of so far. It looks like a huge thing that you want to be part of, or at least knowledgeable of at this early stage. You want to be able to say to your friends in 10 years, I was there, I remember.
That's it.
Anything else you'd like to plug? We've got Odin's Revenge coming up, or whatever the name will be.
That's it. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, as tight deadlines and assignments tend to do, the scope of them tends to shrink as time goes on. So we'll see how much we actually get accomplished over the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Fortnight
for those who have just learned the term.
Yes, one fortnight, 2 weeks, 14 days.
Uh-huh.
Forb and I have also been involved recently and continue to be involved with PonyCon AU.
Okay.
Which is Australia's first My Little Pony convention here.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Which is going to be happening, I believe, the 6th, 7th of April, 2013.
Okay.
And we basically jumped on board there to help sort out branding and design work for that convention.
Wow, nice.
And yeah, that's another very exciting project.
Apparently, when you register for that, they pay for your airline ticket. Is that what I heard?
I'm
totally messing with you. I'm just curious to see what kind of buzz that would make. Whose ears perked up? What now? What now?
I'm pretty sure people who are drifting off listening to this podcast right now are wide awake.
Yes. I was joking, guys. Sorry.
Go back to sleep.
Yeah, back to sleep. Well,
no, that is it is actually really exciting because I saw this PonyCon project kind of starting to be advertised. I thought, whoa, wait, hang on, Australia's getting a convention.
Yeah,
I need to be in on this.
Absolutely.
Come on, guys, we can do like design and stuff. Let us help.
Is it going to be in a city anywhere near you? Because I know.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
I live in Brisbane, which is a state away. It's in Queensland, whereas a state down in the country, which we have rather large states, being just a massive island,
right?
Is in Sydney, which is kind of towards the bottom of the country.
That's got to be at least, I'm thinking, 8 to 10 hour drive minimum.
About that, yes.
Okay, yeah.
On the upside, it's about an hour's drive. Oh, sorry.
How fast do you drive? Holy God!
Well, the plus side is that the police can't catch me.
Neither can light, apparently. Holy.
No, sorry. It's about an hour's flight. Which is nice in that regard.
Okay, so that's a good distance, but it's doable.
It is, and thankfully it's a heck of a lot cheaper than getting overseas.
Absolutely, yeah. But if if you can drive that an hour, you could probably skim the water.
No, but you run out of fuel after an hour. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
That's the problem.
Aim for Guam.
Just stuck out there.
Well, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. My guest this week has been Sterling, and I've decided that your name needs to be accented strongly. Sterling. Much better.
Yeah, I can roll with that.
Yeah.
Sterling.
Okay.
Sterling.
Everybody, we've been speaking to Sterling. Check out his DeviantArt page, Twitter, and is there a page for the game yet, or no?
No, there's no page for the game yet. But no fear. Once that's ready to release, I'll be spamming it left, right, and center.
Okay, so if you're anywhere nearby his stuff, you'll find out about it. But
that's it.
Well, thank you very much for being on. We enjoyed talking to you.
No worries. Thanks very much for having me.
This has been Into the Spotlight with OsakaJack. Thank you all.
Good night, everybody.